Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you some tips for using your mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. This machine is a lot of fun to work with and gives you portability and a great way to start embossing and die cutting if you're new to stamping. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. This Stampin' Cut Emboss is really lightweight, and because it's lightweight like it is, it requires a few little things that you do differently. The mini Cut and Emboss does have rubber feet on it, but if you have it on top of your grid paper or other type of paper, it's not going to be able to grip the table, so that's the first tip. The second tip is to use it standing so that you can bear your weight down onto it. As far as putting in your plates, I'm going to show you the die first. Now these plates are numbered. There's 5 of them. We've got the 1, 2 of the 2s for cutting, a 3 and a 4, and I'm going to show you the sandwich for the 1. Now we want to stagger these, but we want to stagger the plates in a special way, and so I'm going to show that to you today. We're going to make a letter E out of the plates when you look at it on the side. So I'm going to put plate 1 and then plate 2. I'm going to add my die, and then I'm going to put the second plate for the cutting pad on top, but I'm going to add that back higher than the second plate. So when you turn it over, do you see the letter E? You've got these 2 plates that extend farther than the center plate, kind of like a sandwich with your bread. So I'm going to put that in, and at this point the Stampin' Cut and Emboss will be able to grip that, and you can see the handles moving already, and you simply bear down and you can run it right through. So that's the first sandwich. Now the reason that the sandwich is important for the mini Cut and Emboss is because the tolerance that you have on the mini. We have tolerance in 3 different places, and the word tolerance refers to what's the allowable difference in the products. So not only do the cutting plates have a little bit of tolerance, but the 2 rollers on your Stampin' Cut and Emboss have tolerance, and then the dies themselves have an allowable tolerance. So the thickness of each individual item and the tension on the rollers makes up that tolerance. Now, as far as the embossing folders, you should be using the gray and then one of the number 1s. So we're going to do that same process where the bottom is farther, the second one is stepped in, and then the top plate is back out to that full distance, and you kick that handle again and it grabs it easily to roll through. Another tip if you're having problems getting your 3D embossing folders through is to use a different plate. So instead of plate number 1, I'm going to bring in plate number 3 and replace that. I'm going to put my embossing folder with the cardstock in it, of course, second, and then I'm going to put that plate number 4 on top, making that E again, and it'll easily roll through. Now I can swap out the plate 1 for the number 3 because there's about a 1/16 inch difference between those 2 plates, which gives you enough of a change that you can put the embossing folder through without it being too tight. So if you find a sandwich is too tight, try swapping out for a different plate and using that E staggering technique. I think you'll find those tips helpful, and you're going to love using your mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Ginny. Thanks for joining me.